Today we're having a battle of the bass bundles. I scoured Amazon, Guitar Center, and Sweetwater and found the best bundles that have everything you need to start playing bass. They're all linked below. We'll have rounds for the best bass, the best amp, and the best accessories. We'll also listen to how each of the bundles sounds in different styles of music. After all of our testing, I'll choose which bundle is my personal favorite, and you can share yours as well. Let's kick off the sound testing now with some funk. The basses. From Amazon, we have the Burning Flame by Glarry. It's a standard 34-inch scale with a lightweight basswood body, maple neck, and rosewood fingerboard, weighing in at 6.5 pounds. We have split single-coil pickups and controls for neck pickup volume, bridge pickup volume, and a master tone. At such a low price point, I was not expecting to like this bass as much as I do. It plays pretty well, the setup's not bad, and the fretwork is actually the best I've seen in this price range. And the electronics cover a lot of ground too. My only critique is that the maple neck is relatively heavy compared to the basswood body, so you do get a fair amount of neck dive. The strings also feel more abrasive than usual, like the ridges and the windings are kind of jagged. Now from Guitar Center, we have the Squier Affinity Jazz Bass. This is a standard 34-inch scale with a poplar body and maple neck and fingerboard, weighing in at 8.5 pounds. For pickups, we have Squier single coils in the neck and bridge, and the controls give us neck volume, bridge volume, and master tone. For anyone who might not know, Squier is owned and designed by Fender, and I think they've done a great job at capturing the feel and tone of their more expensive jazz basses and putting it into this more affordable option. The neck feels on point. I always appreciate the comfortable rounding of the Fender-style body, and the electronics definitely sound in line with a Fender. The fretwork isn't bad, but I think it's the most noticeable difference between this bass and a higher-end jazz bass. It's just not as smooth. Overall, I really wouldn't mind gigging with this bass. It's actually pretty good. From Sweetwater, we have the Ibanez Micro GSRM20. This is for kids or smaller people, maybe between 3.5 to 5 feet tall. We have a poplar body, maple neck, and Jatoba fingerboard, weighing in at just under 6.5 pounds. We have Dynamics P and J single coil pickups with controls for neck volume, bridge volume, and master tone. This bass edges out the Squier on build quality. It has the smoothest frets, the nicest quality finish, and all of the hardware feels very nice. This is a well-made short-scale bass. Alright, so who wins the round for the best bass guitar? Between the three basses, if I had to choose one for myself, I'm going Squier all day. It has the sound, balance, and feel that I'm looking for, and it would be a good fitting bass for most gigs. That said, if I was 1.5 feet shorter, the Ibanez would take the win. So consider that. Now let's hear these basses in some down-tuned metal. In most cases, your bass amp is going to have a bigger influence on your sound than the bass itself. At a gig, I'd much rather play a $50 bass through a $1,000 amp than I would a $1,000 bass through a $50 amp. With that in mind, let's compare each of these amps. The Amazon bundle comes with a 20-watt bass amp with 3-band EQ, an auxiliary input to jam along with, and a headphone output. This is one of the smaller bass amps I've seen, and it reminds me of a lunch pail. It sounds about as good as you'd expect for its size. The low frequencies are pretty rolled off, it sounds kind of honky, and it also starts distorting at a pretty low volume. It's good enough to practice on, but I wouldn't go too far beyond that. The Guitar Center bundle has a 15-watt amp with a 3-band EQ, an auxiliary input to jam along with, and a headphone output. While it has a lower wattage than the Amazon bundle, it's actually louder. Keep in mind that wattage doesn't necessarily equal loudness. To my ears, it still sounds closer to a guitar amp, so I keep the bass knob cranked most of the time, and I'd say it's loud enough to play with some acoustic guitars or maybe a piano. The Sweetwater bass bundle comes with a 30-watt bass amp, and this one is by far the loudest and best sounding of the three. It also has built-in overdrive if you're looking for some extra bite to your tone. This one sounds like a proper bass practice amp, and it might even work well for playing with a drummer if they're on the quieter side. Now, who wins the round for the best bass amp? Easy. Sweetwater takes this one. It's the only amp that felt like it wasn't struggling and sounded like a proper bass amp. Typically, one of the first upgrades a new bass player will make is their amp, even before getting a new bass. That extra volume and better sound really goes a long way, especially when you start jamming with other players. If you want to hear how each of these basses sounds through a professional level rig, stay until the end of the video, and I'll play all of the same bass lines through my usual Gensler amps and cabs. Now let's hear some rock. For accessories, the Amazon bundle comes with a thin gig bag, instrument cable, a strap, a pick, and a couple Allen wrenches to adjust the bass's bridge and truss rod. The Guitar Center bundle has a thicker gig bag, instrument cable, Fender strap, and all of the same tools. It also comes with 3 months of Fender Play online bass lessons, which are guided bite-sized video lessons. That's definitely a huge plus. Now, the Sweetwater bundle comes with a D'Addario Eclipse rechargeable clip-on tuner, Gator 10-foot instrument cable, a Rocket guitar stand, a variety pack of Dunlop guitar picks, and a Levy's guitar strap. Sorry, no gig bag for this one. Who wins the round for the best accessories? This one's a little closer, but Guitar Center takes the win. I really want a gig bag for my new bass, and those added video lessons are a huge plus. Speaking of lessons, make sure you check out my bass method books. There are hundreds of pages of lessons for the beginner through the advanced player, and they come with hours of video lessons. Here's some quick information about my books, and then we'll listen to more of these bundles with some jazz. Hey, I'm Nate Navarro, introducing my books, Bass, 4 and 5 string etudes, riffs, songs, and exercises. They cover everything from beginner concepts like how to hold the bass, intro to fingerstyle, intro to slap, and other beginner content, all the way through advanced concepts like four-finger picking, double thumb, sweep picking, and other moderate to advanced content. The books provide beginners with a solid foundation, and it gets them playing right away. It helps more advanced players break through technical plateaus, and it offers tools for creating more catchy and interesting bass lines, all through fun and engaging material that shares the skills I've picked up over the years as a busy professional bassist, music scholar, and educator. With the books, you get hours of video lessons, close-up demonstrations, the examples have audio and bassless backing tracks, and there are guitar profiles for everything. So if this sounds cool to you, check out Bass, 4 and 5 string etudes, riffs, songs, and exercises by Nate Navarro. They're available now at the links below and at natenavarro.net. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Nate Navarro. Take care. Now, after all of our testing, it's time to declare the winner. Who offers the best bass bundle overall? Each competitor, Amazon, Guitar Center, and Sweetwater, have their strong points. But if I'm going to buy a bass bundle for myself or as a gift for a loved one, I'm going with Guitar Center. Their bundle with a nice Squire bass, adequate practice amp, decent gig bag, and included lessons offers a very compelling package that I think will set up a new player best. As with many things, it's important that you begin as you intend to go, and I think this bass bundle provides the most resources in helping a new player do that. The included lessons will help them hit the ground running in the right direction, and it's also a good thing to be familiar with the Fender bass feel. Its presence is everywhere. While that's my take, I can appreciate that one of the other bundles might be a better fit for you. Of course, price comes into play, and the Amazon bundle is the most affordable by far. At that price, you could probably take the leftover money and get a couple months of in-person lessons with a local teacher, if that's something you're more interested in. And as I mentioned earlier, size is a factor too. If I'm buying a bass for a kid, they're definitely getting the Sweetwater bundle, so it actually fits them. Let me know in the comments which bass bundle is the right one for you. I have links to all of the bundles listed below, and stick around to hear all of the bass lines played through my Gensler rig. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Nate Navarro. Take care.